Next on Newswatch Hopkinsville, authorities are on the hunt for 2 suspects involved in a shooting this afternoon. That's our top story. The news is now.
Your Penny Ryle news leader for nearly 2 decades. This is Newswatch Hopkinsville.
And thanks for joining us. A late afternoon shootout gives patrons at a local barbershop a scare. It happened near First and Vine about 4:15 this afternoon. According to police, 2 shots were fired involving 2 different men with shotguns. According to witnesses, one man was on foot being chased by another in an older blue, black, and gray 4-door vehicle going north on Vine Street. The shootout resulted in a pellet from one of the shotguns going through the window of Richard's Barbershop on the corner of First and Vine. Several officers were called to the scene and collected evidence. The shooters had disappeared, and police have no suspects at this time. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 887-TIPS. We'll be on the lookout for fake $100 bills circulating in the area. The Oak Grove Police and the U.S. Secret Service are after the person behind a possible counterfeiting ring. Newswatch 43's Mona Nair has more on the fraud. The decision on whether to sell alcohol on Sunday came down to one vote, Mayor Rich Leby. For someone who has been such a long-time proponent of economic growth, this comes as a shock to many when he stated, "I cannot walk away from my religion. I cannot walk away from my Christianity. You knew this when you elected me. For that reason, I cannot support this." Now, there is no pickup program for people here in Hopkinsville for recycling, so you have to do a little extra to help out. So there's a great opportunity for people to contribute something to the community. You can bring your cans here to the Green Earth Recycling Center here on 9th Street and tell them that your cans are for Habitat for Humanity. Now, there are no laws for riding ATVs. There is no age limit, so just about anybody can jump on one of these four-wheelers. So people should take extra precaution when riding. When several children at Hopkinsville High School and Middle School hopped on the bus Tuesday afternoon, they didn't expect to be dropped off on a busy road, left to dodge traffic and vicious dogs on their long haul home. According to parents, the substitute bus driver had another route to run and refused to take the children home.
It was ridiculous because anything could have happened. You know, they have to have a note just to get off next door, and she just put 7, 8 children off the bus, and I don't think that's professional. That's just not right.
Now, when a bus picks up a child at their home, it is a standard policy of the school system to deliver that child back to their home. But that's clearly not the case here. Apparently, the substitute driver dropped the children off near Pembroke Fairview and 41A, and many of the kids had to walk nearly a mile just to get home. The situation was even more irrational when Timmy, who has cerebral palsy, was forced to walk one of the longest walks of all the children.
I just didn't think it was right. I mean, all I'm saying was I just want him to be treated, or any other kids to be treated just like, you know, the bus driver, for instance. If she wanted her child, she wouldn't want her child let off the bus and out from home.
Only one child stayed on the bus and waited for another bus to take him home. But 8 children reluctantly got off to make their way home on foot.
Me and this boy named Sean, we kept on walking, everybody else got a ride, and the dog started chasing us. And then we finally got home.
I was not happy about it at all. As a matter of fact, I went to the bus garage and I spoke to David Clegg about the situation. And as I spoke to him about the situation, he apologized for the improper behavior of the bus driver. But there was a few jokes made as well by him that I did not appreciate either.
There is also speculation among the parents since all the white children made it home while 9 black children remained on the bus. Nevertheless, any child should not be forced to walk home on a dangerous road.
Once I get that report, we'll probably be taking another step to find out where we go from here once I find out what the facts of the issue are.
But the real concern is for the safety of the children and how to keep something like this from happening in the future. Ryan Schwartz, Newswatch, Hopkinsville. Well, it's not too often you get to mingle with buffalo or pet wild deer. But thanks to one local woman, the sheep now have a shepherd. I got a chance to visit the farm and learn a few lessons of my own. Normally, it's not a good idea to lay your hands on wild animals, but that's not the case on Natalie Allison's farm. Being an animal lover her whole life, she now nurses injured wildlife back to health. After taking in numerous animals, Natalie turned her farm into a petting zoo. Among the animals she cares for are donkeys, deer, elk, cow, ostrich, And yes, that's me holding a skunk. Don't try this one at home. But Natalie's personal favorite is the raccoon.
Raccoons are junk food junkies. They eat everything. They love sweets. They eat fish.
But my personal favorite, the buffalo. That is, buffalo she brought home in a minivan. Now, the experience for visitors is definitely educational, and she loves to teach kids about the animals.
Now, buffalo poop is the Native American original fire starter.
Speckles and Freckles here drink about 16 ounces of milk twice a day.
Yeah, in about 10 seconds' time. But there are other lessons, like teaching kids that water comes from the ground. Of course, I knew that, but I still haven't figured out why the chicken crossed the road. But Natalie Allison does everything according to state specification, and 99% of the wildlife she receives are released back into nature.